Hey everyone, and welcome! Today we're doing a deep dive on ConnectSphere.
Ooh, ConnectSphere. Interesting.
Yeah, it seems super interesting. So, you know how we've all got all this content online?
Yeah, our portfolios, our websites, all that stuff.
Exactly. And what if there was one place we could put it all? One place that really shows who we are?
Like a hub for all our digital stuff.
You got it. That's ConnectSphere.
I'm listening.
So to do this deep dive, we're looking at some stuff called ConnectSphere, a customizable digital content platform.
It sounds pretty official.
Right. It really lays it all out. And honestly, I think you're going to be surprised by all the ways people are using this thing.
I was. Okay, you've piqued my curiosity. Let's get into it.
Right.
What exactly is ConnectSphere? Like, how would you explain it?
Well, it's kind of like a website builder, you know?
Okay, I get.
But it's all about showing off your stuff, like your videos, your images, your articles, all of it.
So it's less about building a website and more about presenting your work, your content.
Yeah, and it's supposed to be super easy. You don't have to be a tech genius or anything.
That's good because I'm definitely not a tech genius. But what about people who do know code? Can they do more with it?
That's the cool part. They can. ConnectSphere lets you use custom CSS to really make it your own.
So if I wanted to create a really unique look and feel for my page, I could use custom CSS to do that.
Exactly. You could change the colors, the fonts, the layout, anything.
Wow. So it's flexible for both beginners and more advanced users. That's impressive.
Yeah, I thought so too. But okay, hold on. Let's talk about security for a sec.
Right, because we're putting all our personal stuff out there. We want to make sure it's safe.
For sure. So they use something called password hashing. Have you heard of that?
Vaguely. It rings a bell.
Well, it basically scrambles your password. So even if someone hacks in, they can't read it.
Oh, that makes sense, like making it unreadable to anyone who shouldn't have access.
Exactly. And you can even password protect individual items on your page too.
So if I have something super confidential, I can lock it down.
Yep. Like extra security.
Okay, good to know. They're taking security seriously, which is a huge plus in my book.
Totally agree. Okay, so we've talked about what ConnectSphere is and how secure it is.
Right, the basics.
Now, I want to know, how does this thing actually work, like behind the scenes?
Ooh, let's peek under the hood. Well, one thing that makes it really flexible is its modular design. Basically, it's built with these separate parts, like Lego bricks.
Lego bricks. Okay, I like where this is going.
Yeah. So if they need to add a new feature, they can just snap in a new module.
That makes sense. It's like building blocks for a website.
Yep. And that means it can change and grow really easily.
Clever. So what language is it all built with?
They use Python and Flask. Those are really good for efficiency and scalability.
Python, Flask, got it. But what about the database? How do they manage all that data?
Oh, they use a really powerful tool for that. It's called School Alchemy.
School Alchemy, huh? I'm not really familiar with that. Is that like a programming language?
It is, but it's specific to databases. It's what's called an ORM. Stands for Object Relational Mapper.
An ORM. Okay, you're going to have to break that down for me. I'm lost.
No problem. So basically, it acts as a translator between the application code, which is in Python, and the database.
So it helps them talk to each other.
Exactly. It lets the developers work with data in a way that's more intuitive and less clunky than writing raw SQL queries.
Okay, that makes sense. So School Alchemy takes care of all the data kind of stuff. What about the visual part, the front end? How does ConnectSphere handle that?
They use Bootstrap, which is super popular for front-end development. It's got all these pre-built components and styles, which makes it easy to create a website that looks good and works well on any device.
Bootstrap, cool. So
Yeah.
that gives them a good foundation, right?
Exactly. A solid base to build on. And then remember we talked about using custom CSS for more advanced customization.
Right.
Well, ConnectSphere lets you integrate that with the Bootstrap foundation seamlessly.
So it's like having a house with a solid structure thanks to Bootstrap, and then you can decorate it however you want using custom CSS.
Perfect analogy. You got it. It's like they've thought of everything.
Right. I'm impressed. But all this customization, do you think it could ever be, I don't know, too much? Could it get too complicated?
That's a really good question. I think one of the biggest challenges for ConnectSphere is going to be finding that sweet spot between giving people all these options, all this flexibility, and keeping it simple enough for anyone to use.
So they don't want to scare away people who aren't coding experts.
Exactly. And so far, I think they've done a great job. The interface is really user-friendly, and they've got good documentation.
That's good to hear. But okay, another thing I'm thinking about, when you've got all this user-generated content, how do you keep it from turning into chaos?
Ah, the wild west of user content. Yeah, that's a valid concern. I mean, you got to think about security, right? Making sure people aren't using it for bad stuff.
Exactly, like spam or scams or even worse.
Right. So they've got things in place like password hashing, which we talked about,
Mm.
and email verification. They can also ban users or specific email addresses if they need to.
So they're being proactive about it.
They have to be. And as ConnectSphere gets bigger, they'll need to keep adapting and improving their security. It's an ongoing thing.
That makes sense. It's not a set it and forget it kind of thing.
Definitely not. And it's not just about, hackers and things like that. They also have to think about content moderation,
Hmm.
making sure people aren't spreading false information or harmful stuff.
Yeah, that's a whole other can of worms.
Right. It's a tough issue, and there's no easy answer. But it's something they're going to have to deal with as they grow.
It's like the bigger you get, the more responsibility you have. But okay, enough about the challenges. Let's talk about the future. Where do you see ConnectSphere going from here?
Ooh, that's fun. Well, one thing I'm really excited about is the potential for AI, artificial intelligence.
Oh yeah, AI is everywhere these days. But how would that work with ConnectSphere?
Imagine if ConnectSphere could use AI to, suggest content to you based on your interests. Or maybe it could help you connect with other people who are doing similar things.
It's like having a little AI assistant that's always working behind the scenes to make your ConnectSphere experience better.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And I think there's a huge opportunity for them to expand into the business world, too.
Oh, interesting. How so?
Well, companies could use ConnectSphere to create interactive product catalogs or even virtual event spaces.
Whoa, virtual event spaces. That's cool.
Right. It's like taking everything we've talked about and scaling it up for businesses and organizations.
So they could use it for internal communication too.
Absolutely. Imagine a company using it to, create profiles for their employees where they can showcase their skills in projects.
That would be awesome for teamwork and collaboration.
Right. And it could help managers identify people with specific skills for new projects.
It's like a talent marketplace within a company. I love that.
And honestly, I think they're just scratching the surface of what's possible. ConnectSphere has so much potential.
Yeah, it sounds like it. Okay, so we've talked about the technical stuff, the challenges, and the future. But I want to go back to something we talked about earlier. QR codes. You mentioned they're making a comeback. And I'm still not convinced. Convince me. Why are QR codes more than just a fad?
Okay, I hear you. I was skeptical too at first. But think about it. Everyone has a smartphone now, right?
Yeah, pretty much.
And those smartphones have cameras that can scan QR codes instantly. No special apps needed.
Okay, true. It's a lot easier than it used to be. But how does this tie into ConnectSphere?
Well, ConnectSphere makes it super easy to create a QR code for your page. You can put it on your business cards, your email signature, anywhere, really.
So instead of fumbling with business cards, people can just scan a code.
Exactly. It's so much smoother, especially at events and stuff. And it's not just for individuals.
Businesses can use them too.
Oh, yeah. Imagine a musician with a new album. They put a QR code on their posters that takes you right to their ConnectSphere page.
So you could listen to their music, watch their videos, all that.
Yep. It's way more interactive than just a regular ad.
Okay, I'm starting to see the appeal. It's like a bridge between the real world and the digital world.
Exactly. And the best part, you can track how many people are scanning your codes, so you know if your marketing is actually working.
That's pretty handy. Okay, you've officially won me over on the QR codes. But even with all this cool stuff, there have got to be some downsides, right?
Of course, no technology is perfect.
Hmm.
I think one of the biggest challenges is going to be content moderation. Making sure people aren't using the platform to spread bad information.
Yeah, that makes sense.
That's a tough balance. You want to give people freedom to express themselves, but also protect people from harmful stuff.
It's a responsibility thing, for sure.
And as ConnectSphere gets more popular, they're going to be a bigger target for spammers and people trying to, do bad things.
Like hackers and stuff.
Right. So they're going to have to keep investing in security and stay one step ahead of the bad guys.
It's a never-ending battle, isn't it? Technology keeps evolving, and so do the threats.
It really is. But I have faith that ConnectSphere can handle it. These seem to be really committed to making a safe and positive platform.
Well, it's been fascinating learning about ConnectSphere.
I know, right? So much to unpack.
So if you had to sum it all up, what's the one thing you'd want our listeners to remember about ConnectSphere?
That's a good one. I think the biggest takeaway is that ConnectSphere is about giving people control over their online presence.
Like taking ownership of your digital self.
Exactly. It's about moving away from these cookie-cutter websites and social media profiles and creating something that's truly unique to you.
I like that. So it's about more than just the technology. It's about a new way of thinking about our digital lives.
You got it. And that's what makes it so exciting, I think. It's not just keeping up with the digital world, it's shaping it.
It really is a game changer. We've covered so much ground, from the techie stuff to, like, the future of ConnectSphere. But before we wrap up, I want to circle back to those QR codes for a sec.
Oh, you're still on the QR code train?
I'm trying to be. You said they're having a moment, and I get the convenience part, but I don't know, are they really more than just a trend?
I get it. I get it. They've had their ups and downs for sure. But think about how much smartphones have changed everything.
It's true.
Like, almost everyone has a phone with a camera that can scan a QR code instantly.
Yeah, no more downloading special apps or anything.
Right. It's just seamless. Like, boom, you're connected.
Okay, I'm listening. So how are people actually using these QR codes with ConnectSphere? Give me some examples.
Okay, so first of all, ConnectSphere makes it super simple to make a QR code for your page.
Okay, and then what? Like, what do you do with it?
Put it everywhere. Your business cards, your email signature, even like a poster at an event.
So instead of typing in a web address, you just scan it.
Exactly. It's just way smoother and more efficient. And it's not just for individuals either. Think bigger.
Like companies.
Exactly. Imagine a band. Okay. They release a new album. They could put a QR code right on their posters.
And that takes you to
Their ConnectSphere page. You scan it, boom, you can listen to their music, watch videos, even buy merch.
Wow, that's actually really smart.
Right. It's a way more engaging experience.
Okay, you've convinced me. QR codes, they're back.
But even with all this good stuff, we got to talk about the flip side.
The potential downsides, yeah.
Exactly. What are some of the risks or challenges you see with ConnectSphere? Like, is there anything that worries you?
I think the biggest one, honestly, is something we touched on earlier, content moderation.
Yeah, making sure people aren't using it to spread misinformation or harmful content.
Exactly. That's going to be a constant challenge for any platform that relies on user-generated content.
It's like, how do you balance freedom of expression with keeping people safe? Right. And as ConnectSphere grows, they're going to have to find ways to deal with spammers and scammers and, well, anyone who's trying to exploit the system.
The bad guys.
Yeah, basically. So they'll need to keep investing in security, that's for sure. And not just the technical stuff.
What else then?
I think building a strong community is key. Like encouraging users to report bad behavior, creating a culture where people are looking out for each other.
It takes a village, right?
Exactly. Just a shared responsibility.
Well, this has been an incredible deep dive. I feel like I've learned so much about ConnectSphere, and honestly, I'm even more excited about it now.
Me too. It's really pushing the boundaries of what's possible with digital content.
So before we sign off, what's the one thing you want our listeners to take away from all of this?
I think it comes down to this. ConnectSphere isn't just a tool, it's a way of thinking. It's about taking control of your digital life, expressing yourself authentically, and connecting with others in a meaningful way.
It's about being the architect of your own digital world.
I love that. That's a perfect way to put it.
And on that note, we're wrapping up our deep dive into ConnectSphere. We hope you've enjoyed this exploration as much as we have.
Thanks for joining us. Until next time.